All right, Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shemi Hawashai. Yahweh is the name of who the world calls God. Bahashem just means in the name of. Yahweh Shai is who the world calls Jesus Christ. In this video, I'm gonna touch on. It's not gonna be a long video. It's basically going into did Jacob steal the birthright from Lil Esau? We call him Lil because he a little boy to us, right? Did Jacob steal Esau's birthright? Cause you have a lot of people say that, and mainly them Kemet brothers when they try to come against the Bible, and they always be like, "You talking about Jacob? You bring up Jacob? He's a thief. He stole the birthright from his brother. He's a thief. He stole it. He was deceiving. He was cunning." You have people in the Christian church bring up Jacob. Well, Jacob was a thief, but the Lord still had mercy upon him. So that means the Lord can change anybody. But people don't understand the Bible. I'm finna get into this thing, finna break this thing down. Because people gonna have to put respect on our forefather Jacob's name. Jacob did not steal the birthright. But nobody don't want to speak about Esau. Nobody want to speak on how he sold his birthright to Jacob, meaning it wasn't his anymore. And then he tried to turn around after he just sold his birthright to Jacob. He tried to still receive his birthright or receive the birthright. It wasn't his no more. He tried to receive the birthright even after he just sold his birthright to his brother Jacob. We're finna get into this thing real quick, man. We finna settle this thing once and for all. Did Jacob steal the birthright from Lil E? Let's get it. Um, Let me get Genesis 25, and you can start at 20. Genesis 25 and 20. Yeah, I'm gonna read on down, and it reads. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian of Pandanarium, the sister to Laban, the Syrian. Right? In Israel, Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah, his wife, conceived. And the children, wait. Yeah. And and the children struggled together within her. And she said, "If it be so, why am I thus?" And she went to inquire of the Lord. So now this is our foremother, Rebekah. Now she having twins inside her womb, and they warring against each other. She can feel them. She can feel the contention inside her body of her children warring against each other. Man, it's not a good feeling. So she going to the Lord and asking the Lord, if this a blessing, you know, if I'm being fruitful and multiplying, like you said, and it's supposed to be a blessing for me to have children. Why is it that I feel so hurt? Like, why am I feeling pain? So she went to ask the Lord this, right? So the Lord is going to tell her something before this stuff even happened before Jacob and Esau was even born. Rebecca's gonna know something that Isaac's not gonna know. She's gonna know off rip because she went to talk to the Lord about it. 23. And the Lord said unto her, two nations are in thy womb. Two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. So like it. There were twins in her womb. And the first came out red all over like a hairy garment and called his name Esau. So check this out. People skip past this. People want to act like these verses are not here. But it makes sense when you read it. The Bible just said that in verse 23, the elder shall serve the younger. So the child that come out first, when it's all said and done, he's gonna serve his younger brother. This is something called predestination. This was already ordained from the beginning of time that Esau was gonna have to serve his brother Jacob. It was already ordained from the beginning of time. So it don't matter how Jacob got the birthright, it was already said that he was gonna get the birthright because the elder was gonna serve the younger when it's all said and done. And Esau came out first, meaning that he's the elder, and so that means that he was going to have to serve his brother Jacob. But if Esau would have received the birthright, if Esau would have received the birthright, he wasn't gonna be able to serve his brother. Because what comes with that birthright is you having servants and people that's below you that serve you. So how would Esau be able to serve Jacob um if he would have got the birthright? So Jacob had to get the birthright because this was predestined from the beginning before they was even born, that Esau, the so-called white man, was going to have to serve Jacob, the so-called black and Hispanic man of Negro and Indian descent. He was going to have to serve us. It was already written. So he didn't steal it. Before they was even born, it was already said that Jacob was gonna get it. So now let's skip the verse let's get Genesis 25 and let's get Genesis 25 and 29 on down. He said, now this is what happened. This when they was already this when they was born. You know, they was already they at their mother womb. Now this is the physical act of brothers and sisters saying that he stole it. Now, and Jacob sought pottage, and Esau came from the field and was faint. So Jacob had some pottage, and Esau was in the field who knows what. What was he in the field hunting? For him to be faint, for him to come back to sell his birthright for some pottage. How tired was he and what was he in the field hunting? Because we know in today's time, you know, they kill lions, they hunt for lions, they hunt elephants. You know, they hunt gorillas. They do all these different type of things. So what was he doing for him to even be that tired to sell his birthright? It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage, for I am faint." Therefore was his name called Edom. And so Jacob, Esau basically saying, "Hey man, brother Jacob, feed me, man. I'm hungry. I'm finna pass out. I'm hungry. Feed me." And he said, Jacob said 31. Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." So Jacob basically saying, Jacob basically trying him to see if he really a goofy. You know how Israel, how the so-called black man be in today's time. We do the same exact thing. You know, we'll try somebody to see is they really, are you really smart? Like, do you really have common sense? Do you really have street knowledge? Let me try you on this. Let me test you on this. Let me see if you a bite the bait. That's basically what Jacob did. Jacob probably didn't even really when Jacob did this, Jacob knew how important the birthright was. Esau didn't. So Jacob probably thought Esau wasn't even finna actually give it to him. He probably was he threw it out there, and he probably was thinking like, man, he probably ain't gonna get it to him. Let me try him out. Let me see if he dumb enough to is he dumb enough to give me his birthright. And for sure, there you see it. Esau was dumb enough to give him his birthright. So he didn't steal it. He didn't steal it. He got it fair and square. It was Esau's choice. He didn't put a gun to Esau's head and say, "Give me your birthright." He didn't threaten Esau and say, "Give me your birthright." All he said was, "Hey, give me your birthright. You can get some of this pottage." He wanted to see, was he dumb enough to do it. He said, and Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?" You can hear me?
What'd you say?
You can hear me?
Yeah, what happened?
I was just making sure you can hear me because my alarm just went off. So I want to make sure that y'all can still hear me.
Uh,
Okay. So he said, and Jacob said, "Swear to my bad, my bad." So Esau just said, verse 32, "Behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me?" So Esau just said, he just said, what can it I'm at the point to die. What? Why do I don't need this birthright. This out his own mouth. And you have people say that we stole it from him. He just said it. How you know people don't read? People don't really read the Bible, bro. Just because you open the Bible up and flip through pages and you read the verse of the day, that don't mean you actually reading and getting into this Bible. Because if you would, you wouldn't say Esau. I mean, you wouldn't say Jacob stole the birthright from Esau. Esau just said in verse 33 that he don't even want the birthright, like he throwing it away. He gave it to Esau. I mean, he gave it to Jacob. He put it in Jacob's hands. He's like, man, what this birthright? Why do I need this birthright for? I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. Um, in verse 33, and Jacob said, swear to me this day. He swore unto him, and he sold his birthright to Jacob. He sold it, or he so it didn't say Jacob, it didn't say that Jacob stole it from him. It said that Esau sold his birthright unto Jacob. And he swore, he made an oath, a covenant with Jacob, that Jacob was going to get the birthright. Then Jacob gave Esau the bread and pottage of that's the NLT. My bad, Salaki. Pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised his birthright. So Esau despised his birthright, man. He despised it. So how can you get out of this that Jacob deceitfully stole it from Esau when Esau just despised his birthright, as the scriptures say, just to eat and drink to fulfill his flesh? He sold his birthright to fulfill his flesh. So let me get this one. Let me get this last one real quick. Short video, man. Short video going into it. The Jacob, our forefather, man, that name would change to Israel, Prince of the Power. Did he steal the birthright? Was he unfair with the birthright with Esau? Let's see. And let's see how wicked. Let me show you how wicked Esau is, man. People don't talk about this. Like, people just speak on Jacob and how they say Jacob stole the birthright, but why they never get on Esau for being deceiving and still try to go get the birthright that he despised and sold to his brother Jacob. Nobody don't speak on that. Nobody don't want to speak on that topic right there, man. And it's clear as day in the Bible. But first, before I get that, let me show you a little verse. Can you go to 29? Go to 29. Wait. Genesis 27 and 29. Yeah. Let me show you. Let me show you just a little thing. One thing that came with the birthright. What I was saying earlier about you get people serving you and things like that. That what comes with the birthright. And Esau wasn't going to be able to get the birthright if it was already ordained that he was going to have to serve his brother. And it came to pass as soon as Isaac, verse 29, let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's son bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that cursed thee, and blessed be he that blessed thee. So it was already, this what came with the birthright that Esau sold. He's an idiot. Esau got to be the dumbest person on the face of the planet, man. He got to be the dumbest person on the face of the earth. How do you sell your birthright for some pottage? This man goofy. He's a goofball, man. That's insane. It said, and it said that what came with the birthright is you having dominion, basically. You gonna have servants, and people bow down to you and call you Lord. That what comes with the birthright that Esau sold. All right, so now we finna get we can stay in that chapter. Let's skip to verse. Let's go to 30. And it came to pass as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce, gone out from the presence, but that's scarce. But that word is scarce or scarce, so like one of them. Gone out from the presence of Isaac, his father, that Esau, his brother, came in from hunting. So basically, the Most High, Isaac just blessed Jacob. Because remember, it was already said in the beginning that the elder shall serve the younger. Jacob was the younger. So this was already ordained. This situation of Jacob, you know, putting on Esau clothes and getting the birthright, that was already ordained to happen. It was already ordained to happen. Because if Jacob didn't do that, Isaac probably wouldn't have gave him the birthright. Isaac probably would have been like, well, I still gotta give it to Esau because he the oldest, and we know in tradition the oldest son got the birthright. So Isaac probably wouldn't have understood, because Isaac didn't know what the Lord had told Rebecca. Rebecca was already on game. That's what she got. Jacob already prepared to get that birthright. She was already on game. She already understood that it was supposed to go to him. Isaac didn't understand that. So Isaac probably would have vouched for Esau and still would have tried to give Esau that birthright. That's why Jacob did the way he did. But he still was ordained from the beginning of time, before he was even born, when they were still in their mother womb, for him, Jacob, to get the birthright. Um, so Esau coming in from hunting, and he also had made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled very exceedingly and said, who? Where is he that hath taken venison and brought it me, and I have eaten of all before thy camest, and have blessed him. Yet he shall be blessed. You keep going down. And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceedingly bitter cry, and said unto his father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And he said, thy brother have subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, it is not he rightly named Jacob, for he has supplanted me these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessings. And he said, hast thou not reserved a blessing for me? So even just going off that, Esau, this how you know this is the so-called white man. He sold his birthright, tried to get the birthright, tried to sneak and get the birthright after he just sold it. Then he tried to play victim. What other people play victim like the so-called white race? This is the so-called white people, man. Esau is their forefather. He trying to play victim. Talking about, he said in verse go up son, babe. Wait, was that? Yeah. He said in verse 36, he said, is not his name rightly named Jacob, for he have supplanted me these 2 times? He took away my birthright. That's what Jacob just told his dad. He took away my birthright. No, he didn't. He didn't take nothing from you. You sold it to him. But Esau said that Jacob took it from him. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he have taken away my blessing. No, he didn't take away your blessing. It was for him. You sold that to him. That's what people don't understand, man. People don't, and that's why the so-called white man, they don't understand why they have that envy, jealousy, and hate towards us. It's deeper than just color. It ain't that they don't hate us and envy us because of just color. You have East Indians that's, when you go to a corner store, you will see an East Indian that's behind the cash register. He may be darker than you, but he not getting, racially profiled like that. He ain't marching talking about East Indian lives matter. He not getting mistreated like us. He not. And the so-called, they don't understand, the so-called white people, they don't understand why they have that hate towards us. It's because of this birthright. It was passed down in their bloodline. They have that hate towards us. They have that perpetual hate towards us. Can you give me Amos 1:11, babe? They have a perpetual hatred towards us because of this birthright. That envy and that jealousy and that hate, because they still feel like in a spirit, they feel like we stole that birthright from them. But we got it fair and square. You decided by yourself. Jacob didn't have no weapon pointed towards him. Esau decided by himself that he was going to sell that birthright because he said his own mouth, out his own mouth, what need do I need for this birthright? He said out his own mouth. Now he ended up going to Isaac and say that, hey, my brother stole the birthright from me. He was deceiving. He deceived me. Amos 1:11. Thus says the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will turn away the punishment thereof. Because, my bad. I would not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and he did cast off all pity. Um, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. So the Bible telling you that Esau, the so-called white man, which name also is Edom, they kept their wrath forever, man. It's a generational thing. That's why through all these years, you had generations of white people come along and they kept doing the same thing to us. They kept, and still to this day, it's still racism going on. So you wonder, like, why does this keep happening when we in 2023 and we still going through racism? Because that perpetual hatred that they have inside them, it keeps getting passed on from their children. Matter of fact, and also, can you give me Isaiah 14 and 21, babe? This is why the Lord said this in Isaiah 14 and 21. Because that hatred that they have is so heavy and strong towards us that they pass it down to their children and their children. Isaiah 14 and 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. So the Bible is saying, "A prepare slaughter, for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers." So kill them, because you have some white people be like, "Well, I didn't put you in slavery. That was my great grandma. I didn't do that. Why you mad at me?" But the Bible just said they still have to pay because that hatred that they grandmother and grandfather have is in them. It's in them. They might not physically come out and show it every day, but it's better inside them. You make them mad enough. Now, watch, their true colors will show. They just good at hiding it now. They're just good at hiding it, and they gotta pay because for the iniquity of their fathers, because their fathers left them a tab to pay. Man, they raped, robbed, and murdered. They stole a whole land, a whole people, but they dead right now. But they seed is still here on stolen land, benefiting off of it, ain't complaining at all. They wouldn't give it up if they had a choice to give us our land back. They wouldn't give it up, even if they had a choice. So that's why the Most High God said they have to be slaughtered for the iniquity what their forefathers did, because if they don't, the hatred and envy that they have in their heart is going to continue to be passed down from generation to generation. They're going to continue to be wicked and wicked. So the Lord got to put an end to them by slaughtering their whole nation. Going to now, can you give me Obadiah 1:18 to prove that the Lord is going to exterminate, the whole nation of Esau, the Edomites. He's going to exterminate them because of what we just read about their generation, the generation being wicked. Obadiah 1:18, in the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau a stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall be not any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord have spoken it. So there's gonna come a time where it's going to when we in rulership, the Israelites gonna be in rulership, and it's gonna come a time when the Edomites gonna be devoured, the so-called white people, that's their nationality, the Edomites, Esau, they're gonna be devoured, and then ain't gonna be no more remaining of those people, man, because you got to get rid of the cancer of the earth. If you don't get rid of the cancer, it's going to continue to grow and spread. You have to get rid of the problem, and the Most High God is going to judge them, because out of all the races of people on the face of the earth, they did us the worst out of every race on the face of the earth. So the Most High God said, okay, I'm going to have to judge you. I'm going to judge you. I'm going to punish you, and I'm going to erase you. So um, me see what all I wanted. So yeah, man. So that's what I just want to touch on real quick to get into Jacob and Esau, man. Did Jacob steal the birthright? Not at all. He didn't steal it all. So people can stop saying that our forefather Jacob was a thief, that he was cunning, that he was deceiving. No, we can't speak on that. It was already ordained from the beginning that he was gonna get the birthright. You know, it was already set in stone. It was already in stone. It was already written in stone that Jacob was gonna get that birthright. So that's how it happened. It went like that. It went like how it was supposed to go, and boom, we got the birthright. You know, so that's how it is, and that's how it happened. And nothing nobody can do about it. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Shema was shot. You know, so with that, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shai. And I say, Shalom, Kwame Yashua.